All right, greetings and salutations, everyone. Welcome to the Crypto Truth, where I give you the truth as I see it. Well, I know it's been a while. It's been quite a while since the last time I made a video. There was a lot going on. There has been a lot going on. Still is a lot going on, and even today I got a lot of stuff going on. Hopefully, at the end of everything, I'll be able to inform you guys and just let everyone know what's been going on. We all have issues and problems in life that we have to solve responsibly. There's a lot of patience that I have to deal with the situations that I'm dealing with right now. But anyway, I have been gone for a while, and I was like, you know what? Let me make a quick video. So what I decided to do was in this beginning of this video, just want to go over the things that I'm gonna talk about. The first thing is SEC. We all know that Gary Gensler got pretty much interrogated. We're gonna go over some crypto stuff, the economy, Holochain, and then also we're gonna lastly go over Red Grid. So if you guys want to fast forward to any of these things, I'm going to put a check mark so you can stop the video wherever you see a check mark, and that'll give you a roundabout way. Try to do the whole timeline thing. For some reason, I can't put it in right. I'm doing it wrong. I'm always doing something wrong when it comes to this stuff. So anyway, just wanted to give you guys a heads up on exactly how I'm doing things, how things are going right now, and just give you guys an update. All right, so let's go ahead and get started here. So the first thing that has been going on, it's been about a month since I made a video, and what has happened? Pretty much nothing. If you guys look at take a macro aspect to things, nothing has happened. So everything that's happened within the last month, for all of those who, and I have been keeping track of the market, so for all of those people who were like, oh, it went up, oh, it went down, oh, it went up, oh, it went down. You guys can continue that. You guys can play this whole trading game. A lot of people, I know you guys like to trade and like you're trying to get rich and win Lambo. And a lot of people, let's be honest here. Many of us want to make money. That's not the goal. That's not the issue that I have with a lot of this stuff. We all do want to make money, but it has been proven, and please do your own research, that if you hodl, if you hold for a long period of time, that's where you would get the most bang for your buck, per se. We all have our different things. Some people dollar cost average. I don't want to get too much deep into the woods on all of that stuff. Just do your own research. Figure out what type of investor you want to be. If the crypto market is stressing you out, or if you're new to the crypto market, I really do advise you to do your own research, and it'll help you out in the long run. All right. So the SEC. So what has happened? Well, basically, Gary Gensler was interrogated by many within the government, asking questions about cryptocurrencies and what's going on with regulation. So many of you guys know I've actually had videos way back in the past. I've even talked about this before as far as XRP is concerned. The whole thing smelled really well, really mostly anything financially, especially when it comes to regulators. So a lot of things smell fishy, but this smelled like straight up cod. Okay, so obviously we all know that XRP, the moment, what was it, the day prior to leaving, the head guy filed a lawsuit. The SEC filed a lawsuit to XRP, and then he left. He left the premises. He left the scene, and then now Gary Gensler is coming into this whole entire mess of what's going on, and he's trying to correct and he's trying to put out fires, but it's obviously not working to his benefit. Now, one of the things I noticed, and please make sure you do your own research and take a look at this. I believe they have a lot of this. It's about 2 hours long. Is it an hour or 2 hours? I think it's about 2 hours long. I listened to the whole entire thing, okay? And I'm going to listen to it again. I'll probably do that while I play video games or something like that, whenever I have time, whenever I'm in my relaxation mode. Kind of like to multitask here. But, so he got grilled, and they ask a lot of good questions, right? So if you're not from the United States, you know that, if you are from the United States, you know that we're not privy or able to hold a lot of cryptocurrency projects or tokens or anything like that, because it needs to be regulated. They have to go through all of these, red tape, and a lot of government officials ask very, very intelligent questions. And this in the conclusion of everything that I got from that whole thing was there is nothing they can do. It's over. Gary Gensler made the statement that they're doing everything of how the law is written, and it's written very broad and everything else in between. Well, even if you're specific, because he stated that many cryptocurrency projects out there and tokens or coins, whatever you want to call it, are securities. But the thing about it is if you say that most of them are securities, then please explain to us exactly what a security is. One government official said, hey, I know about the Howey test, but it doesn't, a lot of these cryptocurrency projects don't fit within the Howey test. Here's the issue. There are so many different ways that you can use cryptocurrency. You can't really, whether it's a store of value, whether it's called currency, a commodity, a security, however you want to label it. The thing about it is the fact that there's just too many variables. You can take one crypto project or coin. Let's go with token. I'm gonna say crypto token, and you can use it many different ways. And the reality of it is you can't regulate it. You just can't. Now you can try, but if you try to regulate it, as one government official said, hey, why don't you just give us an exact, you say that some are commodities and some are securities, so explain to us the difference of exactly what is what so that everyone would be on the same page. He even said that Gary Gensler, he asked the guy, he said, are you their daddy? And then there were some other great points that was made throughout. So there's been a lot of things going on. People, especially if you're in the United States of America, please, please, please understand, you have to educate yourself. What's happening is years back, you guys remember what they were saying. Oh, cryptocurrency is a scam. Oh, we're trying to protect the investor and everything else in between. Well, I don't see anybody protecting anyone from getting a lottery ticket. I can go and cash out all my money, be irresponsible as I want, spend $500, $600 and buy a lottery ticket. And the only thing that they say is, please play responsibly. Or please, if you're drinking, especially things like alcohol, please drink responsibly. You got these warning signs. I don't understand why we just can't do that with the crypto space. Hey, you know what? Just letting you know, this is out here, but hey, you're likely to lose your money if you ain't with a good project. It is what it is. If you educate people in that manner, just slap a warning sign on it and let it go from there. But here's the issue, and I believe there's a reason why they won't do that. They won't do that because of the fact that if you do, now they know that they're going to lose. People are going to purposely choose other currencies, cryptocurrencies, instead of using the dollar, instead of using many other things. And then let's talk about the technology. The technology, they even talked about it, is ahead of its time, and they feel like that the SEC is holding up progress by, throwing out all these warning signs and doing all this stuff. And the reality of it is what? Why are you doing all of this and you don't even know? So you're suing a company or saying that it's a ICO security offerings and different things like that, and you can't even correctly identify or correctly explain to the public, not behind the scenes, not within yourselves, but to the public, so that when someone comes to you and someone has a project or a token that they want to do, you can explain to them and guide them in how they should proceed. But guess what? They won't do it because they can't do it. It's impossible. And then I forgot her name, Warren, Senator Warren, asked a question about, well, literally when she was reading off all of this stuff, I thought that Gary Gensler felt like he was in 5th grade again. If I buy a cryptocurrency on Tuesday at 3 o'clock, and then on Wednesday it goes down, and then I can't take out my money, like it was extremely hilarious. But at the same time, she does make a point. What's happening is that all of these, like Coinbase, or Binance US, all of these companies and organizations, what's happening is they're making a lot of money, and then they're keeping their money, because when the market crashes, or I tell you what, when people want to take out if the market goes on this super high, and or let's say there's a super cycle going on, which we'll talk about that later, and then all of a sudden you start losing money. Let's say you're up, I don't know, you're up 40%, and that's very, very possible in the crypto space. The market is up 40%, and you're like, I'm out of here. Like, I'm going to take that and I'm going to run with it. And then you go into your account, and then it says, oh, the website shut down. Oh. So then, couple of days, like you're trying. They say, oh, we're working through issues. And then all of a sudden, you lose, 75% of what you've made. And then I should say 75%. Let's just say it drops down. The next day, it was at 40%. Now it's at 35%. And you're like, I got to get out of here. But then in 24 hours, next day, it's at like 2%. And then now it's dropping down. And now your 7-day percentage is like, I don't know, -2% or something like that. And you could have taken out a long time ago. But all because the exchanges have been shut down. Let me tell you guys something. This isn't a regulation problem. This is a technology problem. Okay? This is a technology problem because a lot of people, right now the crypto space is small. It's about to get larger. And we're going to talk about exactly how different projects can to make things better. But this is a technology problem. And it's a greed problem, because who knows, they might shut it off and then just cause you to lose all of your money anyway. You know what I'm saying? Or crash the market, however you want to say. So, man, there's a lot going on. So if you guys want to know more, especially if you're in the U.S., please take a look at that and listen to it. I'll try to find it and then post a link in the description below, and maybe that'll help you guys out. All right. Let's talk a little bit about cryptocurrency. So, what has happened? I know many of you guys are like, oh, no, you should have from my perspective. A lot has happened. Ooh, a lot has happened. Finally, Cardano has smart contracts. It has a hard fork. We're good to go. There are other cryptocurrency projects out there. XRP is about to be listed on Coinbase. Shiba Inu. Inu means dog, for some of you guys who don't know, in Japanese. But Shiba Inu is going to be listed on Coinbase. So, cool, I guess. Obviously, you guys know how I am. I've talked about the things that I do, where I invest, and what I've invested in. And I don't even have much in the first place, but it is what it is. And, I'm just moving on from there. The crypto space has been crazy. A lot of people are wondering exactly what is going on. Bitcoin should be flying through the roof right now. We have El Salvador using Bitcoin as a good tender. We have these different companies and organizations buying the dip like crazy. And to be honest with you, I really don't understand why the price isn't higher than what it is right now, because people are pouring boatloads of money and grabbing Bitcoin. And we can talk about the economics of that. Excuse me, can't talk today. Please forgive me. So that's what I'm going to do. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the economy of exactly the economics of exactly what's going on. Not only how it relates to crypto, but what's been happening in the landscape. So what's been basically happening is that we're entering a time where a lot of people don't have money. A lot of people don't have money to purchase homes, to purchase houses, to do a lot of things. And why is that? Well, the rich are buying up everything. And before anyone, I don't want to get too much into it, but before anyone talk about the United States, it's not just about the United States of America. This isn't just about quantitative easing. This isn't just about the markets have been looking bad for a while now, even before COVID happens. And for many of you guys who are like, oh, well, people don't want to work, I'm sorry, but if you we're talking about labor jobs here. You really need to look at the statistics on what's happening with labor jobs. Nobody wants to do labor jobs. I could go into that and talk about that for a long period of time, about how your time and energy and where that meets as far as when it comes to income and different things like that. But that is not what this video is for, because I could make a long video about that. But however, what's happening in the world is actually insane. The rich people are just buying up everything, and including cryptocurrency, right? So we have all of these, I don't know, regulators. We have, it's not regulators, the banks, and all of these famous people, and they're saying, oh, we're getting into Bitcoin. We're going to get into Bitcoin. We're going to get into Bitcoin and different things like that. They already are in Bitcoin. I cannot make this any clearer. They are already into Bitcoin, and they know that they can't shut it down. It's going to be there regardless of whether they like it or not. Sanctions is not working. Well, sanctions didn't work for a whole lot of companies and organizations, and even countries. And I can go into that for a long period of time, but I won't, because, well, you got to do your own research anyway. So, by the way, I'm going to use that time to say I am not an expert in anything. I just offer my opinions on how I feel things are going and where it's going to go. And so far, everything is like in direct replica of 2008. Not almost. But anyway, the markets got hot. But today, the reason the market is getting hot right now is because, and it's going to be hot for a longer period of time, is because of the fact that people aren't just getting written up for these for housing and receiving loans and taking out loans for housing, because it's stricter now, right? So not everybody, if you can't afford it, and if it doesn't look good on paper, then you really can't afford it. However, what's happening is that all the rich people are like, this is going to go up. This is real estate. So they have permission to buy how much and however much they want. And now we're looking at the disparity, in which they talked about this as well when they talked to the SEC, or I should say Gary Gensler. Oh, by the way, he said that his comments are his own and don't reflect anybody else. He the head of the SEC. What the hell? Who's in charge then? Like, I don't understand. Like, how you supposed to have some personal feelings about certain things? Anyway, I laughed about that. I'm like, I don't get it. Anyway, but going back to it, so yeah, all of the rich people are buying up everything. They talked about this with the SEC, how there's more of a disparity. People are just not able to purchase or compete with not only people in the United States, but foreign investors as well. Foreign investors are buying up land. And so now there won't be any restrictions. So we have people that are like, well, I worked 20 years to gather up this $30,000, $40,000 down payment, and people are paying $100,000 cash above what it's worth, just so that they can purchase the home. But this is making it's squeezing out the middle class, and I'm not going to get too much into the middle class, especially it's squeezing out the middle class here in America. Now, it's not just America, but inflation in a lot of different currencies are rising. Okay. A lot of people are understanding, a lot of governments are understanding, hey, look here, the writing's on the wall. We're going to look into this cryptocurrency thing, because obviously this isn't working out, and then you can have a better economy. I need to look more into exactly what's happening with El Salvador. I think we'll get better statistics on exactly what's going on with El Salvador, because I believe the profits that you make from Bitcoin, you will not be taxed on it in El Salvador. So I imagine that there are a lot of people who have a lot of money are probably going to be thinking about maybe even dual citizenship or possibly moving to El Salvador. It is what it is. But you know what? If some people can keep 40 or 50, $1 million, that's where they're gonna go. Now, as far as some people who are crypto millionaires and they were poor, was the working class or the middle class, and then they make like $3 or $4 million, and then like the government want 20 to 30% of that. Like, I mean, they might consider like, okay, I mean, is it worth it? It might not be worth it because, I mean, obviously, yeah, you still making a lot, you still have millions, but let's be honest, we all have different lifestyles that we want to live. So it's going to really be up to you guys, but please pay attention to what's happening in the economy right now, because it's just ridiculous, especially when it comes to real estate. I was listening to Kitco News, and they were the guy, I forgot what he was talking about, but he was saying that instead of you would think that families would be getting together, but instead divorces are going up, and it's a great point. There's a lot going on, so a lot of lawyers are making some serious cash right now, especially when it comes to divorce and different things like that. All right, enough of that. Let's go into Holochain. So many of you guys. I see that they're going to be starting or trying to start their alpha program with the Holoports. Now, as I stated before, and I stated this back in July, if you guys go back to those videos, you know that I was saying that I know some of people were excited and they're like, oh, they're going to start immediately. No, it's about, as I stated, about a couple months from now, because they said they were going to be taking applications soon. And then once they did, I believe earlier this, like maybe 2.5 weeks ago or so, they started taking applications and things like that, and it still hasn't run yet. So I'm looking at, and it looks like it's not even going to start until October timeframe. So that's what I'm looking at as far as that's concerned. I know many people are upset with Holochain right now as far as an investment. And to be honest with you guys, I mean, I understand. I see where you're coming from. But you have to understand this is a long-term project. I mean, it is what it is. If you're not going to hold it, if you think you're going to be driving around in a Lamborghini in a couple of days from now, you might, if you go up 20%, you might be able to rent a Lamborghini. But as far as purchasing and taking you to that next stratosphere of income, that it's going to take a while. I mean, it is what it is. So there's that. Now, as far as RedGrid is concerned, and by the way, going back to Holochain, there's a lot of projects like RedGrid, and I'm going to get into them, that they're moving forward. And they're with their technology, and a lot of them are just waiting for Holochain to be ready. Like, they're just on the sidelines, and they're like, okay, come on, we're waiting. You know, there isn't necessarily a time frame or a timeline. A lot of people don't know, and that, again, that's what a confusion is, and that's why you have to see it as a long-term project. Because to be honest with you guys, anyone that tells me, hey, we're working on this awesome project, okay, when it'll be done? Oh, I don't know. When the estimate? Can you give me an estimate of when everything? I don't know. I'm getting honest with you guys. I'm not gonna be too enthusiastic about something that, well, you just don't know. It can be this year, next year. Maybe there's just a lot of things that's up in the air. So yeah, I understand as a company, as an organization, they don't want to be like making any promises that they fail to keep, or they even look worse, right? So you even look worse when you say, okay, it's going to be done by Saturday, and then it's not done until the next Saturday afterwards. And then you say, oh, well, I got some bumps in the road and different things like that. So there's a lot that's going on when it comes to Holochain. And a lot of things, another issue is the fact that it's a very complicated project. And I like to say that it's a simple project, but it's really not. Many people are confused, don't know exactly what's going to happen, because Holochain talks about hollow fuel all the time. Those in Holochain talks about hollow fuel all the time, and they're like, well, what's hollow fuel? And then how do I get hollow fuel? And then there's the hot token, and then how those relate. And then a lot of people who want to invest in Holochain are confused because they want to invest in a hot token, but then the hot token needs to be, they need to switch over to hollow fuel, maybe, because they don't know exactly what the dynamics are between hollow fuel and Holochain, how that's going to work. Depending on how they do things, will definitely affect the price of Hollow Fuel and the hot token. Although they will work hand in hand, exactly how the execution is going to work will depend on all of that stuff. But we can't even talk about any of that because Hollow Fuel is not out yet. And then there's a lot of things that has to go on from there. So if you're investing or wanting to invest in Holochain, please note there's plenty of information out there, especially online, explaining exactly what Holochain is. But I will tell you that it's going to be a bit. So yeah, it is what it is. All right. So going into Red Grid, I already made a check mark on Holochain, but going into Red Grid, I listened to Stain's video, so that was very cool. Johnny Stain had an interview with Red Grid. There was a lot of information to glean from there. I'm going to be doing a little bit more research on Red Grid as well, and Ion, I believe it's called Ion, so that I can be clear on exactly what's happening. So many of you guys have to understand that there are going to be a lot of projects like Red Grid, and they're going to be using Holochain, but they're not going to be using the hot token. And so again, Red Grid, it seems like the Ion, they're trying to use Ion, their own token or something like that. So that's where the confusion lies. And then as far as Hollow Fuel is concerned, so again, I'm going to go back to, you know what, I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to talk about the hot token after I talk about Red Grid. So anyway, I think that Red Grid is doing a great job and flowing very nicely on the things that they're trying to do, especially when it comes to electricity. Over here in the United States, we have double meters. I don't know exactly how the app works with Red Grid, but we'll see. It just seems like Red Grid, their whole the whole model is very similar and very congruent with how Holochain's model is going to work with Holochain. So obviously, if Red Grid is working with Holochain, that validates what Holochain is doing, but also will validate, the different nodes that's going to be available, and not only just energy, because Red Grid, they talk about sharing a lot of energy, now sharing hosting power, sharing hosting energy, and then later on, I believe that we are actually going to be able to share our physical energy. I was listening to, I forgot what it was. I was reading a report. I'm all over the place with certain things, but I do know that if I'm not mistaken, there's a technology, and please look this up, to where they're starting to convert your steps, the energy that you walk on the floor, into real, physical energy that you can use for your appliances. Like the technology is out of this world on what's happening right now. So please stay up to date. Stay up to date on robots. We see that there's a lot of robots. Personalized robots. I believe Elon Musk is talking about a robot having robots mass produced. We're going back to iRobot days. I don't see any robot hurting or killing anybody or anything like that, because they're gonna do exactly what they're programmed to do. As far as AI, depending on how fast the AI works and be able to have its own consciousness, we'll see how far that actually goes. But I mean, right now, they're just machines. They're going to do what they're told. Now, if they're programmed to do something bad, now that's a whole entire, total different story. So, anyway, let's go ahead and talk about HOT, because I know a lot of people would like to talk about HOT and what's happening. Right now, HOT, even within the last month, looks like a stable coin, right? It went up for a little bit and it went back down, and now it's stable around 1 cent or so. So, it's pretty much been a stable coin. As far as how it's going to work, there are plenty of videos. I've even explained it before. I've watched a couple other videos. People have different views on how they think it's going to work. It is what it is. We're all going to have our own views until we actually see exactly what's going to happen, and then it won't be just our own personal view. It will be more objective than subjective, and that's exactly what we want. We want objectivity. In there. But when it comes to the hot token, as I stated before, so, we're going to have Holochain. You guys have to understand that Holochain, Hollow Fuel, and hot are all three different things, okay? So, Hollow Fuel is I guess you can say the mutual credit system, and I did notice that Red Grid mentioned mutual credit or stated mutual credit quite often with Holochain, and then you can take that the hollow fuel and exchange it to hot. Now again, like I stated before, we're gonna have so many different companies on the Holochain, right? And they're gonna have a choice to make. They're gonna say, hey, do I want to use hot, or maybe I want to use a CBDC, right? Or maybe I want to use whatever it is that's local. So everyone that has the hot token, well, to be honest with you, I don't know what's going to happen exactly. Now, I have my predictions. I've already talked about it. But if a lot of companies from Red Grid are going to be using Holochain, but not using the hot token, there's going to be something different. However, I do realize and recognize that there are going to be a lot of companies and organizations that will use the hot token. Now, this is what occurred to me when I heard the interview with Stain, is the fact that, okay, so Red Grid, they stated that they're going to have their own mutual credit system thing and everything else in between. They're going around for Holochain, but they're not going to use the hot token. Now, the token that they're using is also an ERC20 token. So that's another thing that makes it very, very interesting, is why did they decide not to use hot? I have my theories on this. My biggest theory on this is that they can't use hot because hot is finite. You can't use a mutual credit system on something in which something is finite. So once it's out, it's out. Well, you know, when it comes to energy and electrical things and all of this stuff, it's going to be grand. So they can't think small. They have to think big. And I know many of you guys are like, wait, there's 172 billion tokens out there, or however many tokens out there. There's no way it could be that big. Well, when you're working with a mutual credit system, or you're working with these small micro payments, you know, you're classifying everything in energy. And that's the same thing with Holochain. That's the same thing what they're doing with Hollow Fuel. And that's why a lot of people have to really understand that if you're having with Hollow Fuel, there's going to be a whole lot. Like, they're preparing. That's why you have a mutual credit system, is so that it can be able to. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have sharding, we're gonna have different things, but we're gonna be able to. Well, Holochain is trying to be able to have communication throughout the whole entire world, global system. In order to do that, you guys have to understand that that's 172 billion is a low amount when it comes to doing that many transactions all across the world. It's a very low amount. So, having said that, that's why if you go back to my videos, that's why I have my personal view on what I think is going to happen with hot. Because obviously these are Hollow Fuel would be micro payments. So right now hot is what? At 1 cent? It's only going to rise from here because, well, all of the hot is out there right now. So I'm just saying, to me, it just makes sense. Maybe I'm confused. I don't know. You guys correct me in the comments below, which I know some of you will. All right. So, yeah. So that's about it. I just wanted to go over a couple of things and what's been going on this last month. I really will try to make as many videos as I possibly can, just to communicate with everyone. But as soon as everything dies down and a lot of my stuff in my personal life and things start getting a little bit easier, I will inform you guys and give you guys my backstory for everyone that wants to know. But I am dealing with quite a bit, have dealt with it quite a bit, and it's not letting up. So, but it is what it is. But it's great. Please comment, make some comments below. What do you guys think about the market right now? What do you guys think is going to happen? What do you guys think about the cryptocurrency? You know, these if the regulators come out, especially SEC, and say, hey, all of these are securities. Well, okay, even if they are securities, they're still going to be there. Like, they're not going to just disappear. You just register as a security, and it's still going to go up. So at the end of the day, it's still going to go up. Like, it just doesn't matter. So while it does matter in the grand scheme of things, especially classifying something as a commodity or a security or property, however you want to label it. At the end of the day, if you have a great project and you're behind it, it's probably going to go up. But you have to do your own research to make sure that you're in that area. Okay. All right. Well, that's about it, you guys. Please, 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 please have a wonderful day. Do your own research. Do your own research. Do your own research. And last but not least, as I always say, please stay safe out there, my friends. Bye.